Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Stimulus Podcast. My name is Deron Shields, aka Blue Skittles, aka the Commissioner, aka dang. I ain't done those in a minute, I feel like. But thank y'all for coming back to the 14th episode of the Stimulus Podcast, of which I am co-host. I'm gonna let my co-host go ahead and introduce himself.
What's good, world? It is your boy, V to the Y to the SON, Vision Like Sight. How are y'all doing, my friend?
And in the intro, we just kind of like, vibing out to this. Sir, I had never really heard of Sir before. I don't know, I feel like I may have heard the name, but I never heard the music. And this song is actually pretty dope. It's modeled after the King of the Hill and stuff, and the relationship between. Yeah. If anybody watched King of the Hill back in the day or now, I guess the Indian guy on King of the Hill and the blonde haired lady had that little basically the entanglement or whatever, and she was married. So shout out to Sir and John Redcorn. They got already
somebody who does animation should do a remake of like John Redcorn as like August Alsina and Will Smith as the other, and Jada as the other couple.
When you were describing this to me, like that, what this video is about, I was like, dang, that sounds exactly like the Will and Jada thing.
Pretty much. The only thing that didn't happen is they didn't have a kid.
Oh yeah.
That was the only thing.
So in the show, in King of the Hill, they had a kid.
Yeah, and this nigga looked just like John Redcorn. Like, I mean, he kind of looked like a little different, but I mean, he looked Indian. Like,
yeah, that's that. You remember Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Remember like the little like midget black dude slept with his wife and he had like 3 kids, black kids, and he was just like, oh okay, like they were trying to tell him. Yeah. They said he was at the barbecue cooking like some sausages on the grill, and he was like his boy was trying to give him hints, like he was like, you ever notice that your kids kind of have a year-round tan,
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
yeah.
And it was like, the water kind of beats off the hair, and it was like, Jesus Christ, those kids' dicks are bigger than them sausages you're cooking, or something like that. He was like, he had to like just break it to him, but he was like, it was in denial, like, he just didn't want to believe it.
Oh shit! I don't think he really was in denial. I think he just was. He just was like, fuck it. It is what it is.
My kids now.
Yeah.
But
they're black.
Right. Thank y'all for coming back to the Stimulus Podcast, episode 14. We got, as usual, in 2020 fashion, we have a lot of good things to talk about, a lot of interesting topics to talk about. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can make this bigger. But as usual, we start off with an icebreaker. So, we kind of made it like a tradition to do. I just unplugged myself so I can't hear myself right now, but I'm gonna keep talking to play it off. I'm back now. But as we kind of made a tradition to do Would You Rather as our icebreaker, and in similar fashion, we're gonna play another Would You Rather. So we usually just do the numbers. So I guess I'm gonna do a 1 to 200 random number, and I think my random number is gonna be 41. It just felt random enough.
That 41. Does seem random.
Would you rather have edible spaghetti hair that regrows every night, or sweat maple syrup?
What?
Would you rather have edible spaghetti hair that regrows every night?
I already know what I want. Give me the spaghetti hair. I do not want to sweat maple syrup because I feel like that'll be sticky. Like
you'd just be like stuck to everything.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be gross.
I don't even know how you would like kind of live with that. Like, how would you just keep going doing that?
Just imagine, like, people who like have clammy hands and feet and shit.
Yeah, like, shake your hand and you like you sweating. You had to always be real cool, like have air conditioning all the time. Because as soon as you start sweating, your shirt is stuck to you. Like it's just syrup. Cause I'm imagining just getting syrup on my shirt. Imagine like my whole body underneath my shirt is just syrupy. If it's just syrup underneath my shirt, like that's terrible.
Like somebody covered you in syrup and put a shirt on you, like
right. First they put the syrup on you first, and then gave you a shirt.
Yeah, so give me the hair, edible hair.
and then edible spaghetti hair that
And I could
regrows every
always
night.
like that'd be man, yeah, that's hella sufficient. Because like, say somebody is diabetic and they needed to eat, you know what I'm
They
saying?
just lean
Just be
over and
like,
just take a
yeah,
strand, just bite it,
you see a fork and just
twirl it up.
hell yeah, like and it regrow every night.
Right, you just got
That's easy,
a spaghetti dispenser head.
right?
All right. What's your random 1 to 200 number?
Okay, let me
And I'm gonna share
see.
my tab so that everybody can see these.
72.
72. All
Yep.
right. 72 coming up. 72. Would you rather have a bottomless box of Legos or a bottomless gas tank?
Yeah,
What?
gas tank.
Bottomless like it never runs out.
Yeah, like it's just no ending to it.
Dang, that's a weird like comparison. Like it's
Although
like
Legos will be hard.
bottomless box of Legos. Oh, did you fall out? Oh, there it go. It froze up for a second.
Okay.
Um, yeah, a bottomless box of Legos, so like just an endless supply of Legos,
Hmm.
or
But you could build some amazing shit. But like, I need the gas, man. I'm an
yeah,
adult.
yeah, it's way more like because like you're not gonna like you always got to go somewhere like at some point,
Yeah, you do.
and
And
to
then
never have to worry about it.
and just imagine like if you keep your car up to shape, like you can go anywhere.
Yeah,
Shit, especially like traveling, like a musician or whatever. Like I go to a show. You know what I'm saying? That's in like fucking Delaware or somewhere and never have to stop.
yeah, just you do a whole. Well, I guess it would just be depending on how long you can stay awake, but your car just never run out of gas.
Yeah, you just chilling like,
You
okay.
can run from the police until like till they run out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just like, damn, how is he still going?
Right.
I don't understand.
Somebody get the tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's like a no brainer. Like Legos as an adult don't have as much value to me. Like
Yeah.
if I was a kid, then it would be the other way around. I'd be like, oh, Legos because I don't drive.
It
But
will be.
being a driver and an adult, like I kind of see the value of gas.
I think that's maybe what the question is kind of geared towards, was trying to like aim towards, like, separating the two. Like,
Age.
yeah,
Well, that's our what's the name? Would you rather icebreaker for
that
today?
icebreaker.
As usual, comment. What you would rather. Would you rather have edible spaghetti hair that regrows every night, or sweat maple syrup?
That's so stupid, man.
To even think of that, to put that in a question.
Yeah, whoever was
Um,
that is, man, they are a fool.
or the second one was, would you rather have a bottomless box of Legos, or a bottomless box of or a bottomless gas tank?
Gas tank. Yeah, I know. I know what people gonna say on that. I already
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
That's
I was like, dang, that's not even like you're not even making it hard for me to choose.
at
But
all.
but moving on, we are going to go into our first regular topic, I guess. Not really. Oh, it's serious, but not like serious. But just a kind of an update. We usually do coronavirus type update. So just to kind of um
Coronavirus.
to keep us like on track with that, and I put unplug myself again. To keep us on track with that, I'm just I just really be just like, oh, I know they can hear me, but I can't hear myself, so I just keep talking.
Yeah.
But look at some of the numbers and see where we at. Last week I think we were at 149, like 149,000 in the U.S. like death toll in the U.S. I
Damn.
know I know the what's the names were like different, like the recovery rate and the confirmed cases was like different numbers. But I'm gonna just look up the numbers again on Google under there, the coronavirus statistics, and I'm gonna share my screen so everybody that's watching on YouTube can see it. But I guess while I'm getting this, how are y'all feeling about coronavirus nowadays? It's like kind of the normal thing now, um,
Is
and it's funny how like things become the norm. Like it's like I feel like there's always like anything that's new, it requires a certain like adjustment period. And then once you've passed that adjustment period, it's like, oh, this is kind of we kind of settled in. Now it's normal. I gotta grab my keys,
Yeah,
my phone, my mask. Like you think about it, like
my hand sanitizer. Yeah,
yeah. Um, it's not even like that hard to remember now. But over so you can see my tab this screen right this these numbers and stuff.
yeah, I see.
Okay, so over here, this is the United States, like specifically. We had 157. So we're up what is that, 7 or 8 thousand since last week? Or
Damn,
yeah,
hold on.
it was 149,000 just last week, I think. So now we up to 157. Um
Wow.
so yeah, and I got to figure out what these little plus numbers mean. But yeah, I mean, it's like it seemed like people are getting like more relaxed about it, but it's like these numbers still going up,
Yeah,
like so it's like it's a weird like mixed signal.
yeah, and
Uh,
and that's what I was just getting ready to say. Like, I feel myself becoming more relaxed with it. Like, starting to get a little more comfortable. But it's like I gotta, you know, talk to myself and draw myself back. Like, okay, this shit is still out here. They still don't have a cure for it. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on shit to develop. So the best thing
yeah,
for me to do is not to do shit.
yeah, and I think as people have gotten like, it's nothing is like the idea of coronavirus is kind of like settled in. Like okay, there's a virus. It's kind of like it's somewhat fatal in some people, and it's not in other ones. It affects your like, immune system and your respiratory system and stuff like that. People kind of understand. There's a lot of now. It's a lot. There's at first there was no common knowledge because it was completely
Right.
new. Now there's a lot more common knowledge. Everybody knows that it's airborne and everybody knows certain things about it. So people are like, okay, I know coronavirus. Like they kind of like and so but some people have been like, I don't care from the jump. Like which I don't understand that being like that because in this case, it's like even if you don't get sick from it, you could carry it to give it to somebody else that will get sick. So yeah, I was talking about how like over through routine,
Hmm.
anything can kind of become normal, and I think that like people have become so familiar with coronavirus that they don't fear it no more. Um, they don't see it as something to fear anymore. But like the numbers that I guess are being reported at least, um, they haven't like slowed down like necessarily. Like the whole curve haven't hasn't been flattened and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Um, so it's weird. It's like I said, it's like a weird mixed signal because like you see like I feel like people are visibly getting noticeably getting more like like I said relaxed with it, and I'm
Most definitely.
and I think we're all guilty. I'm guilty of it too. Like um, just because
Yeah, so I say I feel like yeah, my fault. That's how I feel, man. I feel like I'm getting too relaxed, and I need to get back on my, you know, caution.
yeah. And then so like here in Michigan, we got 91,450 confirmed cases. Six and death toll is 6,460.
Mm.
And that's just Michigan. And I think they said like it was like 7 or 8 deaths like just the other day, or like not I don't know if it's the other day, but like over like recently. It did like the recent uptick, and Governor Whitmer had a Big Gretch said like basically saying we going back to like 10 or less, or I think that's what the order was saying. Let me look that up so I'm
That's a
not
lot of
misquoting.
that's a lot of people, man. Like when you think about that, like that's a lot of families. That's 6,000 or something, families that's been affected by this shit.
Yeah,
And this bitch alone, this
let me see.
it's wild. But and it's also misleading though, like that the our government and our you know people in head like in charge of like keeping us safe or whatnot, telling us like okay, it's okay to go back out, like you can go back out now, like but no, people are still dying, the numbers are still increasing. You know what I'm saying? And we still don't have a cure for it.
Yeah, I was trying to
That's
find it, but I read it, but I think it was the 10 or less thing.
that's
Like
hella misleading.
you said, it was misleading. That what?
I said it's hella misleading that they do that to us. Like that they kind of assure us that it's okay to go back out and to reopen and things like that.
Yeah.
just because the numbers go down. But it's like if you keep people locked up, of course numbers are going to decrease. Of course they're going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a matter of time, when you start feeling okay because that shit is, numbers are going down. It's gonna go back up when people come back out. That's just logic. Like it's like you don't have a cure for it. It's still out there and it's still in the air.
Right.
You know.
Um. Yeah. It's in. I think that, and that comes from I think that they like don't really know. There's no way for them to like even our experts on diseases and stuff. They can't. They're not an expert. They weren't an expert in coronavirus like that. Like this type of thing. Like there's no experts when it's something that's unprecedented. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
and I found the thing the order that she made. So I'm gonna share it too so like, everybody can read it. But yeah, I do think that's like a weird like mixing from that from leadership and government too. Like when they like, okay, just rest assured everything is okay. We're gonna make sure that we putting the right precautions in place for you to remain safe and still be able to earn your money. And then it's like, oh, numbers back up again. Y'all need to shut back down.
Right.
Like, but I have so under says how many people can gather indoors. So under new restrictions, indoor gatherings are limited to 10 people or less, and across most of the state, outdoor gatherings are capped at 100. Though a higher limit of 250 people outdoors will remain in effect in the Upper Peninsula and Northern Lower Peninsula. Whitmer said.
Okay. Where's more land?
It says it says bars shut down statewide. The order says establishments must close for indoor service if they earn more than 70% of their gross receipts from sales of alcohol beverage. So basically any place that's mainly selling
Alcohol.
alcohol.
Okay.
Earlier in the month, Governor Whitmer halted service at nightclubs and other establishments that mostly serve alcohol, except for up north. Now the restrictions will apply across the state. So we kind of taking a step back as far as the restrictions. Some of the restrictions are being put in place.
Hmm.
So
Which I think that they never should have been taken off. Like I feel like, I mean, I guess you have to please people, but really, fuck what people feel like. As long as I
yeah,
feel like I'm keeping you safe, like, and I know I'm keeping you safe, and the numbers show that I'm keeping you safe, you can be mad at me, but it just makes more sense, like, to be cautious like that over this because, like, it's crazy. It's spreading like crazy. It's killing like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we need to, like, lock in on this shit. We need to clamp down on it. Like, don't play around with it.
yeah. Um, and I think that like the of course, like taking away people's ability to go out and do stuff makes them want to do it more.
Hmm.
So like we have big gatherings like the Coochie Land thing, or like this other just other stuff like coming to the mall. Like it's a good amount of people at the mall, and it's like dang, like part of me be like man, it shouldn't be
It
this many
do
people
be,
out.
yeah, it do. Like I went there, like it was like maybe a couple weeks ago, and I just went up there like just off some really just spur of the moment type shit. Just
Mm,
trying to look for some, and I went up there. I'm like, wow, why is there so many people here? I feel like I feel like
yeah.
I was just gonna walk in this bitch and just really just own it, but like it's a hell of people there. And I'm like, I'm gonna go home.
So that's like Pandora's box because like people they soon as you let like okay as soon as you open up the mall it almost don't even seem like the mall would be open like because it's a center for people like it's all kinds of stores so like it's for
Hmm.
all kinds of people to come one-stop shop come into one building and get all the stuff that you need basically
Yeah.
and that attracts a lot of people. So it seemed like it wouldn't be open, just like like a bigger like a museum building might not be open right now, or like something where a lot of people go naturally gather wouldn't be open right now. It seemed like that would be no different, but I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that like because that makes sense. Like that just makes sense. Like
It does.
just don't open up stuff that a lot of people gather in. So like you don't have crowds at sporting events.
Clubs.
Clubs, and malls. I mean, malls were shut down, but then they allowed them to open up again. Even that what's the name? Great Lakes Mall, Great Lakes Crossing. It was like a moderate amount of people. Like it wasn't even like it didn't seem like it seemed like a like a weekday, like a Tuesday at the mall. Like it wasn't like a super jumping day, but it
Hmm.
was just like for this to be like a coronavirus pandemic stuff. It's a good amount. It's a lot of people. Um, and it's like the back of my mind. I'm always thinking like, dang, it's like it seemed like man, it is. And then people, the way people like don't be wanting to wear the masks and not wearing them over they wearing them like this. They wearing them where like the nose is like still out like this.
Yeah.
It's like you breathe out of your nose. Like that's
Right.
I
It's
don't.
so stupid, man. Yeah, I saw a dude at the gas station like that, and I was like,
That's a
"What's
lot.
the
There's a lot of
point?
people like
Just
that.
take the shit off, like nigga. Like it don't matter if you, man. Like what the fuck? It don't matter if you how you do it. Like your nose is still exposed, so take the bitch off. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, it don't make sense to wear it like that.
people act like they can't be uncomfortable for a second. It ain't like you finna wear that bitch in the car all the way there, and you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, be smart about it. It ain't that bad.
So if y'all out there, please be the type of people that like even if it don't you don't feel like you'll get sick, just wear the mask, wear it right. You know what I'm saying? Wear it out in public. Don't be like don't let the story be that we were so bratty that we weren't able to like get ourselves under control, and then it
Right.
spiraled out of control and killed way more people than it had to.
Man,
Let's just like go
I
ahead.
saw a lady at Wally World, and I was walking in, and she was like, basically trying to argue with the lady, like that she didn't. Her doctor said she didn't need to have a mask
Didn't
because,
need to.
yeah, because she was pregnant and whatnot. And I'm like, what? I'm like, it seemed like a doctor would advise you to wear a mask because you are
Yeah,
pregnant.
you will be more vulnerable.
Yeah, but what do I know? Like, she just didn't want to wear a mask, and then so she was like saying she had two kids with her too, like two little kids too. I'm like, so they don't have to wear a mask too. Like, the doctor told them this it's okay too because you pregnant. They don't got to wear a mask.
Because my mama pregnant, I ain't got to wear
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Like she
Um,
just was tripping.
yeah, it's guaranteed some people are lying about like oh that I gotta because like people will be like oh I have a medical condition so I don't have to wear a mask. But it's like okay, so you I could just say that anybody could just say that like
Yeah,
they don't be like here's my my prescriptions and stuff and my diagnosis. I just they just be like I got a medical condition I don't have to wear a mask.
but this is the thing though. Like, okay, your medical condition, but this is my establishment. So
Right.
if the rule for my establishment in this pandemic is you need to wear a mask to enter, I don't care. You need to wear a mask or
Yeah.
find somewhere else. Like I
No
don't care.
different than like a dress code at a club or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't care. Shit,
Like
tell
you
your
don't
doctor to pull up.
right. Yeah, like man, America is very entitled.
Hella
America's
entitled.
so we feel like anything that you tell like I said, people fought
Es-
against
Especially the
seatbelts.
ones especially the ones with the lighter complexion. They're hella
Yeah,
entitled. Like
yeah,
But
is
but
that's
the black ones are too though. Like we are like especially like that's why Africans don't like us. Like people from some Africans from Africa, they don't like
yeah.
black Americans because they feel
I've
like
heard
we're
that.
entitled. And I get that. Like some um you know a lot of black people, honestly, especially like the youth, are kind of feel like entitled. They're entitled to their parents and what their
Hmm.
parents have, and you know what I'm saying, and all that, and even their significant others.
Yeah,
Some people feel like they are just entitled. So I get that, but
and that comes. I mean, that comes with like they're talking about white privilege.
mhm.
Like if all my life I've never had to like what I'm saying worry about this happening and being treated and getting things just because I wasn't black and stuff. If all my
Right.
life I had that, it would be like well yeah like I am kind of like I'm used to that now. So
Yeah,
like don't take it away.
I
Don't
like
tell me I gotta wear a mask.
I like how you put that.
Not
Because
black.
I wasn't black, not because
Yeah,
I am white, but because I wasn't black.
yeah.
Because
That's how,
that's why they get that's really why they do it. Why they get it. You don't have to be. You don't even have to have money or come from money.
it's
It's
like
just the
oh
fact that you're not
thank God you're
right.
not black. I'm like oh Like he had me
Right.
worried there.
Oh, I thought you were a Negro.
Yeah, so your name was Tyrone, and I had to assume.
Yeah, so they do be feeling like that. Like, how dare you tell me to wear a mask? This
Yeah,
is discrimination.
right. They see it as oppression. Like it's like,
Yeah,
and like I said, people fought against seatbelts. Like they didn't want to wear seatbelts, and it
they
was like,
did, which was stupid.
yeah. So it's you. It's like a pattern. It's like it's or like a it's the same behavior. Like soon as they say like this is gonna keep you safe, we making it lawful that you have to wear it, or you get a ticket or whatever. And they're like, what? Like man, I'm an American, and I have rights, and they get into all that, and
Niggas
then it's like,
stupid.
and now it's just like, oh yeah, seatbelts. Like everybody's just like used to that idea now.
Cause man, I've been in an accident on the expressway. Like flipping over and shit like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I had my seatbelt on, but I've always been the type to wear my seatbelt, and like being in that type of accident, man, it is crazy. Like, but like niggas should wear their seatbelts. They definitely work, and they're definitely there for your protection.
right. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Viewers comment, what are y'all feeling about coronavirus? Right now, like the date is August 2nd. What are y'all thinking about coronavirus at this point? Do you feel like you're getting more comfortable, more relaxed with everything, or are you? And I, this is completely a sidebar, but like I got a tendency to look off to the side, like off this way when I'm talking.
Mhm.
I'm trying to look more at the camera. So, but anyway, comment what y'all think.
That's why I wear the glasses.
Yeah, you don't know where you're looking at. But comment what y'all think. How y'all feeling about coronavirus? Are y'all afraid? Are y'all like anxious about it? Is it like you just any other like same old type stuff? Just completely comfortable with it. Whatever y'all perspective is, comment it in the comment section on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But
Coronavirus.
I guess from here I want to go into. I guess we kind of going. We're talking about like the governor and all that stuff, but going more into America's democracy and everything, and specifically the what's it called, the electoral college.
Mm.
We're gonna talk about the electoral college and like what it is and why we even have one and stuff. But I'm gonna share this tab so we can get into the video, and then after that we'll get into the discussion. But we got our friend Janelle. Janelle Monae?
I do.
Okay. I used to like in college. I was kind of like listening to some of her music.
Yeah. I used to fuck with Janelle Monae.
Back when she had like tightrope and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But they're gonna break down some of the details, and then we'll get into the conversation after they stop.
Understand that, you need to first understand the United States system of government. We're all aware that the U.S. is a democracy. What does that mean? The definition of democracy is the system of government by all the eligible members
Well, break it down
of the
then, Monet.
population. There are many ways to organize democracy, the same way there are many ways to, let's just say, bake a cake. But
I'm here. I
democracy
just went
falls
black
into
for a
two
minute.
main categories. Direct democracy is where citizens vote on issues directly.
Yeah, it's like YouTube plays different when it's
If
being
we were
shared.
using direct democracy to decide what kind of cake I eat, I'd say, I vote for chocolate cake. And then that vote would be cast.
A different way of organizing things is called representative democracy. In a representative democracy, you don't vote on things directly. Instead, you vote for a person, your representative, who you trust to make those votes for you.
If we were using a representative democracy to decide what kind of cake I eat, I'd say, I vote for Janelle. And then I trust Janelle to pick my flavor of cake.
Hell no. See, look, nope.
You're going to get a red velvet.
Because Janelle
I
might not
trust
put your
you. Even if I
your
did,
vote
I'd
in,
still have
like,
to.
no.
All right, how is it?
Tastes like freedom.
There are some places in the United States where democracy is direct. For example, if you live in a state where citizens vote on ballot measures. But overall, the United States is a representative democracy, also called a republic. We have a very particular way of electing the highest position, the president.
Before we get into how presidential elections work, I do have a student who is eager to learn more about this. Janelle,
So I'm gonna
could
pause
we
it right
surprise her
here,
and let her
and
join
then
the lesson?
I want to try to find a spot where they specifically start talking about the Electoral College.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
pause
this is
it right here.
interesting though. I like it remind me of like that stuff they used to play for us in the '90s. That taught us about this type of stuff.
Yeah. So I think I found a spot right here where they get into the.
Actually get to vote for the president. The U.S. president is chosen through the Electoral College. What does that mean? Well, the Electoral College is a system where you vote for someone who then votes for the president on your behalf. When you vote for president, you're actually voting for an elector who is a member of the Electoral College. After the general public cast their votes, those electors, all 538 of them, get together and cast votes for the president. Whichever candidate gets the most votes from those electors wins.
Here's the
Why?
catch. Those electors are actually given out state by state. So the president isn't just who wins the most votes across the entire country, it's who wins the most electors by state.
That's right. The higher a state's population, the more electors they are assigned. So to become president, you need to win a majority, or at least 270 of those electoral votes. Even if you only win a slim majority of the popular vote in a state, you usually win all of that state's electoral votes. That's why sometimes a candidate can win fewer people's vote across the country, but still be elected president. How is that possible?
Which is
I
that
know
all
that's
the
what you're
time.
asking yourself.
Like Trump.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you
And Bush.
by running for president of my kitchen. The voters I'm
So we basically got the idea that the Electoral College, it is basically we vote for people to vote on our behalf,
Right.
which and like you said, like that's the representative democracy versus the direct democracy. Under a direct democracy, we would like directly select our candidates. But in this case, we're doing a representative, and I believe the history is that's basically that like people didn't have the resources to be able to know anything about the candidates, to have an informed vote, basically. So they would have these electors kind of be the liaison. But nowadays, this is like the information era. This is the era of social media, the internet. So you can find out about anybody. Like people be finding people that do like the random people that be being racist in the Walmart. They'll figure out where they work at. They'll figure out all that kind of stuff in a matter of hours. So
They do. Yeah.
you can
The
find out
internet
about
is undefeated.
right. You can find out about a presidential candidate. So we no longer need a liaison or a middleman to make our vote for us, especially when the vote can sometimes contradict what our votes say. Like we all say, like
The time. I feel like, and I feel like you cannot explain to somebody that they vote counts when it don't. In retro, like what I'm saying, hindsight, it don't count. Like, because if I'm telling somebody, and majority of people are telling people, we want this candidate, we want this person, and then people are getting together and being like, nah, because if these electoral college people are, they supposed to be noble, they supposed to be honest, which they probably are not. Some of them probably take bribes or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying, to push somebody in office or push a certain agenda. So it's like, what the fuck do we need these people for? Democracy. This is not democracy. What the fuck is a representative
democracy.
democracy? Like, yeah, like what is that? Like, I don't need nobody to represent me. I don't need somebody to tell me what's good for me. I know what's good for me. I know what I need.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So are you still seeing? You looking at the genome on that thing? I'm gonna pull up. I got this. I got the electors by state on a graph or like a little graphic pulled up, and I'm gonna share that because we can see, like she said, like based on population. The more population you have, the more electors you have. So places like Texas, California have a lot versus like a place like Maine or New York probably wouldn't
How
have as
many do
many.
we have?
I'm about to pull it. I don't even know. I can't see it right now, but I'm about to pull it up so we both can see it. So this is it's according to Wikipedia, but I'm pretty sure this is like legit. And I don't know what this is in this state right here, but yeah, it says we have 16 in Michigan. It seemed like
Damn.
the one up there, North Dakota, South Dakota would have more than 3 in each of those. I don't know, but yeah, it's based on state. So like that's why certain states are more important in during the election year to like for candidates to appeal to, because they know if they win the popular vote in Texas, that
Want
means they
your
gonna get all
glasses?
38 of those electors in that state. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
My device was trying to get a charge.
Okay. But yeah, there are certain states where like the presidential candidates will specifically target them in order to. Oh, now I can't hear you.
No, you good. I muted
Oh,
me for a
okay.
second.
Okay. The presidential candidates would like specifically target like Florida or Texas because they have more electors. So
Yeah,
like even though Florida is like similarly sized to like Michigan, if they have more electors, it's like, oh, it's more important that I hold my rally in Florida than in Michigan.
right. And see that like just breeds all type of ill shit. Like because it's like okay, you not really trying to win the people over. You're trying to win, what I'm saying, these particular people, these electors over. Like, and so it's not
Yeah.
about the people. You're not making your campaign about the people and the people's needs, really. You just putting on the front and then, what I'm saying, you kissing face, but then you trying to like, kiss ass, behind closed
Yeah.
doors to try to get these electors to,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, pick you.
It's that classic story. Like it's the same thing as in most, not most, but a lot of different movies where like the they come off, they want something from the people, so they go in under a certain guise or certain, like, what I'm saying, like something to distract from what they really want, and then once it's time comes, they go back to that original thing. Like for example, like Pocahontas, like the white people was coming, and it seemed like they was being friends, but they really had the intention to take the land or whatever. It was like a Trojan horse thing, or like Avatar, where like they really wanted the atom, or what was it called, the that stuff that they had, the resource that they had in the place. They wanted that, but they had to befriend some of the Avatar people, the Navi people, in
Oh,
order
okay,
in
I know
order to
what you
work their
mean.
way in, and then now I can get that. I can steal their resource now that I'm in.
Asminium or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, unobtainium. It was
unobtainium,
unobtainium because that was a
unobtainium.
stupid
Yeah,
name. It was so like
because it was
unobtainable.
like I thought it
Like
was like it made me seem like it was like unattainable or something like that. Like
yeah,
unattainable,
they literally took the word unobtainable and just called it unobtainium.
unobtainium.
Um, but they wanted the unobtainium, so they got him to go in as a like with the suit on, basically, to get to know them. So they open up to him. He can get, and then he can get what they actually intended to get. It's the same thing. Like we're like politicians are like, I come and I befriend y'all because y'all have what I need, which is those electors. So if I can get y'all on my side, that means I get those electors. So I'll do whatever it is to keep you on my side. Um, and it turns into a lot of like disingenuine stuff, like disingenuine acts, like to where you're just doing stuff because you think that this will keep you in the running.
Niggas be on bullshit.
But yeah, that's how we select who's president. So in this case, like with Trump's case, he didn't win the popular vote, which is I think that's the popular vote represents like who we told our electors to pick. Like the popular vote said, in this case, popular votes, we was telling our electors to pick Hillary. Like, hey, y'all pick Hillary. Like I can't go over there because I'm just a regular civilian. Y'all are the electoral college, but pick Hillary for me. I need you to pick Hillary for me. All right.
All
And they're
right,
like, yeah, got you. We got you.
right.
Like,
Got you.
and then they turn around
Okay,
like
fuck that,
Trump.
bro.
They're like, how? What? Like, how did that? How does that happen? Like, and then why are we in a position to have a system to where that can happen? Like, it
That's
should
what
be.
I'm saying. It's like they're not super people. They not like,
Yeah,
it'd be different if they was like metahumans or some shit like that. They are regular human beings. So as regular human beings, they should be treated as civilians. They should have just as one vote, just like everybody else. It should just count. The fucking popular vote should be the vote.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And I think
Shouldn't be no extra shit.
that's how it would be if we had that like direct democracy. Like I think that's what it was. Like if it would get rid of the middleman basically. And it's dumb. Like it's one of many things, one of many like systems that just like are just they started so long ago and they made sense for the time that they started in, but it don't make sense for now, and we still trying to
Right.
use the old practice.
It's that
Um,
tradition shit. It's like people just stuck on traditions. Like all traditions are not good traditions. Majority of traditions aren't good traditions because they rooted in some ignorance.
yeah. I was saying is that I've heard like plenty of people saying like they don't vote now, or recently, and it's like you almost can't blame somebody when that's if they. I'm assuming that people kind of know that, and if you and I think knowing that would make anybody not want to vote because it's like you vote. You tell me what you ordered, and you like think about going through the drive-through and you be like, yeah, let me get a 10-piece chicken nugget and fry and a shake, and you pull up and then they give you a fillet of fish, McFlurry, and apple pie. Like it's like that's not what I asked though. That's not. I didn't say that. I said something else.
Right, but it's like this is what you need though. This is what's
Right.
gonna be good for you.
Like, look, trust me. This is what you
Right.
want. Just trust me.
Trust.
And it doesn't make any sense for us to as independent and as like individually strong willed as we want to be as Americans and stuff as people like, everybody that's patriotic they always are super like my rights and what I'm allowed to do and whatever. That's one like where like it's a superpower over you um like that's high up type power to be able to like just you know shut like ignore what the whole country said.
Right.
They're like, oh, what are
That's
we even
too
coming here
much
for?
power. Like
So, I think, of course, I don't like the electoral college. If you couldn't tell already by how I was talking about it, but
right.
I guess how do y'all feel? I don't know how you could feel. I don't mean to be like so subjective, but I feel like I don't know how you could feel any other way about that. Like,
Yeah,
is
it makes you feel like you really don't count. Like it just make you feel like okay, you're just a part of the festivities. It almost make it seem like this shit is like a show, like like
yeah,
a festival or something like that. And
uh,
it's just we all have our little piece in it, or like a little ceremony or ritual or some shit. Like
yeah.
we
It's
elect
just
this person to lead our country, and everybody have their part in it, but our part really is insignificant in the whole grand scheme of things.
on the like on the like more maniacal part of like light. That's how you control people is give them an illusion of like, oh y'all get to
It
vote
is.
and y'all can we got to set up so nice for y'all. Y'all can tell us who y'all want to. And it's like no, we still gonna choose. Y'all still choosing who is gonna be the person.
Yeah,
Like
and that's what it meant. It's control. It's that's like, and people really don't see it. And then like when people try to like point it out, it seems crazy. Like especially when they be pointing out like us, they be connecting dots that don't even seem like they should be connected. But
yeah,
stuff like that is definitely like in place. Like somebody put this in place to control the whole shit. They put it in place where they can rig it. Like I mean,
yeah,
this shit is easily like you can easily rig this shit. Win
yeah.
over the
So
electors. That's it.
that's why they're so. It creates like a game. It's a game. It's like it and like people just do anything to get try to get ahead. So they're just it creates all that corruption that's in politics.
And
It
anybody can be bought, man. Everybody can be bought. Everybody has a price.
yeah, because it's like yeah, politics is weird like that. Like I said, I've never gotten into it like or like I don't know. I never delved super deep into politics, but
The
it's just like a
deepest
weird. It's a weird like game. Like I said, like it's a weird
it
because
is.
like I said, it creates a lot of disingenuine acts because it's just like I'm only doing this because you got something that I need. Like, and it's like like if you don't, I mean, most people know, a lot of people know that, but like some people just don't realize that like, and to be fair, there are. Yeah, I'm assuming that there is some clean politicians who they were like they're like just trying to like get into a certain position where they can make change and do the like there's gonna be those, but like there for every one of those there's 1,000 like this like trying to get after that money and you know get these speaking fees and just doing all everything just to get what they need out of you. You still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, but yeah, I guess we can from there we can move on topics.
I'm
We
gonna
got
run
like
for president too, though, in like 2020 something, and
that
I'm just gonna buy my way into the office, bro.
and yet and Trump like becoming president, like actually achieving becoming president, it just made it like like oh I guess anybody can just be president then like I feel like
I
that's
just
what
gotta
they
clean up my act a little bit.
yeah like I mean in Trump like he is the same person that he was before you know he became president, like he's doing all the same stuff like
You're
it
fired.
like yeah like he's still like the you're fired the
He
apprentice
still was
Trump,
on WWE.
right, the same dude like he
Same
acting the same
nigga,
way.
bro.
It's like once you got a certain amount of money and you get a certain even without the money, when people get old enough, it's just like they just keep doing what they do. Like it's hard to tell them to start doing something different or correct them.
Yeah,
Now, top that with like, oh, I also have as much money as I want, like to do whatever. Oh, well, you can't tell me nothing at all. Like,
right.
so I'm just gonna keep on always do it. Exactly,
I'll
I'm gonna
buy
be
you.
exactly
You're
the same.
fired.
He don't code switch at all. Like he's
uh,
just being the same dude all the time. But like he happens to be a terrible person. Just like or it's, behaving like a kid basically.
yeah, it's just not a person that you want to run your company. I mean, because
Um,
that's what this bitch is. It's a company. It's not a country.
yeah, and I think that's a perfect like metaphor for it. And he's like a businessman,
Right.
and I
But
think I think that's why
he's
a
not
lot
a
of
good
people voted for him.
businessman, though. I mean, he is a good businessman, but not really. Like, I mean, he's
Yeah,
had bankruptcies and all that shit too, you know. And so it's like, I mean, and bankruptcy don't mean that you just broke, but I mean, it means what you did didn't work. So
right. But yeah, moving on. As usual, comment what y'all think about the topic. But we're gonna move on into. I'm gonna just pick one out of the three we had. I want to wait with the Mike Tyson until a little bit later.
yeah,
Um,
okay,
but
that should probably come. That probably should come to like around when it's when they about to fight.
yeah,
When is that
um,
scheduled though, man? That shit is crazy.
yeah, yeah. I think that
I'm
like
gonna
it.
buy pay per view just to watch that. Like,
Let me see. Mike
I'm supporting these niggas.
Tyson
That's crazy.
Jones. Yeah, because like, it sounds like something that would just be like, oh, fans want it, like or like But
I'm gonna put
let
some
me
money
see.
on it too.
Let me see.
I'm gonna
Here we
put some
go.
money on it.
CBS Sports. It says Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight card rules, PP or pay per view prize date, and things to know for the exhibition match. Let me see. Let me just find the date that they say. It says September. Mike Tyson's long teased return to the ring for an exhibition bout is now locked in. Tyson will take on fellow boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. on September 12th at Dignity Health Sports Arena in Los Angeles.
That's gonna be crazy. What?
September 12th. Yeah, that's and like I don't know why I got this thought in my head now that like oh they're gonna be kind of like taking it easy on each other and stuff like I don't
No, I feel
you
like
know
they're gonna go out there and scrap. It's
yeah
gonna be respectful, but I feel like they're gonna scrap.
let's I do want to touch on that during this episode. We might not go and like you probably just keep as it gets closer and stuff, and then as it happens, we will do like a reaction type of thing. But um, let's just go into something else that's kind of bizarre. Um, Marcus Houston. If y'all remember Marcus Houston,
Batman.
um, yeah, wasn't he Roger on what's his
Yeah.
name?
Sister,
Um,
sister.
Marcus Houston. Back in 2018, he announced. Well, I guess I'll start with the first part. So the story is basically that he's now engaged, or he's now engaged to be married to his 19-year-old fiance. Um, 19, and he is 38 years old. Um, And it seems, I don't know, it seems like it's like a common thing now for like um in especially in Hollywood for the, like for like younger women, like a lot younger women, like way younger.
Yeah, hella younger.
Um and I don't know, it seems like a trend, especially like with like Epstein and all that stuff, like um almost like this, like once you get up that high in success on the ladder, like you just, I don't know, just want to do
Then
the
you said this
unheard
nigga
or
met her
something.
at like when he was like 15.
Yeah, I've been hearing that like he knew her since she was 8, or since she was 15. And then he announced that they were in a relationship in October of 2018. Um and then now
So that probably would have made her what, 18?
yeah, so chances are like it's, let me see. I got
That
this
nigga,
is
man, that nigga is gross, bro. Like he
metro.co
probably been fucking with that girl since he met her, and then just was like, well, since you 18, we can make it public,
announce
or
it.
at least he
Yeah.
been fucking with her since she was 16, 17.
That's what it seemed like. It seemed like, okay, so it says sister star Marcus Houston has defended getting engaged to his 19-year-old fiance. The 38-year-old went public with his relationship with Maya Dickey in October 2018, 3 weeks after she turned 18. And the pair got engaged in March 2019 when Marcus was 37 and his bride to be was 18. Um,
Mm.
so, however, it seems that nobody was quite sure of Maya's age when the news originally broke, as the 19-year-old age gap, or the 19-year age gap between the couple has caused quite a stir on social media in the last week. Uh,
19 years.
is it that many? I guess it is.
It is. That's
I,
crazy.
I was
Nigga,
doing
you
my math wrong,
19 and got 19-year gap between you and your husband. What the
and
fuck?
like it all and stuff like that always gets like a crazy. I'm reading this thing. I'm gonna share it with the screen on the screen. But when you think about it, like, so okay, so when he was 21, you was like 2 years old.
Right.
Like if you do it like that, even though that's kind of unfair because it's like
It's
eventually,
not, but it is. It's not, but it is fair, bro. Because it's like you gotta think about it. Like, I mean, yes, like, because like you can do it either way. Because you can make the age gap make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
yeah,
you was it was the age gap was 5 years apart. So like, okay, when you were a senior in high school, they was like in the 8th grade or some shit like that. It's like it's bad, but it's like, okay, that's still, it ain't like they are in the elementary or like pre-K or some shit, or even
yeah,
just being born.
yeah. It's oh, man, I and like to even meet a 50, because I'm assuming that what I've been hearing is might be the case. Like to say potentially or hypothetically that he met her when she was 15. Um, and if he's 19 years older than her, what's 15 plus 19?
15
It's like
plus 19, 24. No, 34. No,
34 or 35, something like that. He's
34.
in there
34.
somewhere in there. So he's a 34, 35-year old talking to a
34.
15-year-old. And
Yeah,
but
34.
in it's like, how do you even get to talking in that capacity to a 15
Right,
year old?
right. What do y'all have in common?
Yeah, yeah. It's like you
Like,
wouldn't
come
think.
on, bro. Like, what do y'all do? That's the same. Like, nigga, you are a whole ass adult. Like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? And she is basically just getting into her teenage years. 15, what?
Yeah, it's wild. Um,
That boy Marcus Houston. Wow, boy.
yeah. And then
That,
it said
that
they announced it.
they already come from some wild ass like allegations and like
Yeah,
background and shit like that. Like, and I feel like that shit is true, man. I feel like them niggas are on some other type stuff.
um,
That's why they was telling his ass to go home. Look,
go home,
her.
Roger. Go home, Roger.
They knew Roger was
Um,
a perv.
and then I mean, she don't look like she looked like a grown woman,
Yeah,
but
she looks like she about like 25, like 24, 25, somewhere in there. Like she looks like she's of age for sure.
but honestly, that age, like that is a kind of a, your looks kind of blur like between like 18 to like probably in most cases probably 18 to 30, you almost
Yeah.
look pretty much the same. Like
True.
so like
Yeah.
so a person could easily be 28 or 20. Like in most cases, if you age decently, I guess.
Right.
Um but
This
yeah.
nigga.
Oh, that's him as a kid, as Roger.
Uh-huh.
Um yeah, that's pretty. And there's a lot of those, like, I think there's a lot of cases of that. Like, I think with somebody in the Beatles, I think when like John Lennon had like a real young girlfriend or something like that, or something like that. It's like a lot of cases over time over history of like kind of superstars having like really really young.
Really, I mean, it might have been Yoko Ono was his wife,
That
John
was
Lennon.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was one I heard about, but um yeah, Marcus Houston. I don't know. And then I, to 15-year-old and you messing with like 30-something-year-olds. I I don't know where is her parents at to even let that go on.
Right.
If she
That's
was
why I
like
say
15,
like, and that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, okay, he met her when he was 15, or when she was 15. So I'm like, so how did he meet her? Like, did he meet her through her parents? And then, you know what I'm saying, built a relationship off of that. It's like then,
right?
it make it seem like they sold her to him, or like
Yeah.
or something like that. They worked out an agreement or something.
With R. Kelly, they said that like some parents would kind of like handing their daughters over to him, like just because they thought, oh, maybe they can get some kind of like, especially if they're like a singer or something, they'd be like,
Mhm.
okay, here's my daughter, R. Kelly. She's like trying to be a singer, and you are obviously very successful. Like, let me give my daughter to you, and you can help her find her dreams as a singer. And then he just takes
Wow.
advantage of them. Like it was parents that was with like because they saw money in it, so it's like, oh, if she gets like going, she can make some money and and get big. So they like,
Right.
yeah, here, R. Kelly, take my daughter. Um, and I think he said that. He said like some of them parents was like bringing the girls to him. Not like, I guess probably not on like a here like have your way with them sexually, but like here mentor them musically, like that almost probably. Um, but yeah, uh, I guess
That
we can
nigga
move
H
on.
ain't nothing but a number.
Right. That's yeah.
You want to get your you want to get your daughter over to that?
You see what the last person that said that what happened to him,
Right.
and he's still locked up. Ain't R. Kelly still locked up?
Hell yeah.
Um,
COVID and all, that nigga still on lock.
I think he was trying to get an appeal to get out because of coronavirus.
Yeah, he was, but they shut that
Uh,
shit down though.
they was like, no, chill out.
Nah, they said you good, Robert. They said, hey, you good, Mr. Kelly.
But I think something is to be said, like, or something is, like something is off when a 35-year-old is like, man, this little 18-year-old is looking right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's something is off.
you made it sound so creepy. Yeah,
Yeah,
this 8-year-old sound looking.
looking kind of right now. I'm saying, you know what I mean?
You feeling out
Like,
kind of nice. How old are you?
yeah,
18. Yeah.
all right. Like, and it's like, how does he had to know that she was that young? Like, how did it not come up? Like,
Right.
I don't know.
That's why I say, like, how did he meet her? Where did he meet her? I'm curious of. How do you know her, bro? Where the fuck is Marcus Houston gonna run into a 15-year-old and
But
develop a relationship?
you know what? Like, he was because he was in what was the group he was in?
IMX.
IMX. So he probably got some like and then he's like like TV show, a child star, I guess. He got like a lot of young fans, like a lot of like they was kind of in that era of the male group. They got all the like screaming teenagers.
True, but all these fans fucking old now.
So I mean I don't know. Maybe he was like maybe he
Just about
developed the
those.
interest. Maybe he had developed the interest in like the younger girls back then, and it's like always wanted the younger chicks. I don't know. It's
Okay.
hard. I don't know. It's hard to say. That's just like completely allegedly. Like
Right.
I'm just making all that up. But
Completely allegedly.
yeah. But that's a theory at least. But I do want to use that to go into another thing that we've been kind of keeping up with
Segway, segway.
Megan the Stallion and Tory Lanez. That whole thing. Since the last time we talked about that, which was episode 13, I think, with Sapo. She made a video, basically, for the first time, like kind of appearing on camera, talking about what happened and stuff like that. So I do want to play some of that. I won't play all of it, but I'll play a little bit of it so we can kind of dive into
Play
the
that
topic.
shit.
Let me share audio and the video. All right, here we go. She's like just waiting for the viewers to come in, I guess. She seemed kind of off in this to me.
Hello.
This shit, let me see.
Like,
I'm good. I really just wanted to get on here and show my face and show that I'm happy
I think it's just the emotion of it. I think
and
she's
I'm
emotional.
smiling,
Just she emotional.
even though a
Yeah,
lot
can you
of
see it?
things
Yeah, I
have
see it.
been, things that have been making me not smile, but I'm back. So I see a lot of people painting fake narratives and making up stories and all this other way. But I also see a lot of people that have been like being very supportive and sending prayers, and I just really appreciate that. I saw the hotties doing a lot of things like writing letters on Tumblr and DMing me all the time, and I just want to say thank y'all so much because y'all really been the ones that been helping me get through this. Put my hands on nobody. I didn't deserve to get shot and do like and thank God that the bullets didn't touch bones. They didn't break tendons. Like I know my mama, my daddy, my granny had to be looking out for me with that one because where the bullets hit at, it missed everything. But the was in there.
Okay, so that's
What he
her.
shoot her with?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what happened? Like, that's I think that's still like the question everybody's asking is like and it hasn't been really said other than she got shot, because that's the obvious. You can't really hide that. But
Right,
what's still being hidden is like, okay, who shot her? You
right.
know, what
Why y'all?
happened? Yeah, like
Why you
why it
got
was,
shot?
like what had led up to that? You know what I mean? Like what led up to y'all being in the car together? All that. Like that's all being kept under like tight wraps. It seemed like. So, but as she said, like she got shot in both her feet. So like when I heard that, I was like, what?
Yeah, like what?
Like,
Like it made it seem like somebody was like, "Give me your foot, bah! Give me the other one, bah!"
right, to target like specifically both the feet. Like I feel like you can shoot somebody in the foot in the first foot, like in because they're not expecting to get shot, but after they got shot the first time, it's like how do you still get them in the other foot?
Or she might have been on some. They might have been on some ritualistic shit and was end up escaping that shit. I don't know, like because that just seems weird. Like you got shot. I mean, or it could just be like a coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences. But it could just be like something that happened. Like she just got shot in both feet, not intentionally, but
I don't like if it was not intentional. I don't know, but then she did say that it was done in the one of her like original statements. She said this was done with intention to harm me.
yeah,
So like somebody was trying to shoot her in both her feet, I guess.
right,
And like everybody's assuming that it's Tory Lanez, and nobody's coming out and saying that it wasn't.
right.
So it's looking a lot
Ha-
like
He,
it's him.
he has he even said anything about it?
I don't think he's if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's put out any kind of statement lately. Like he has, because I like it's, ever since that happened, I don't think he said anything. Let me look it up, though, and see if that's true or not. Tory Lanez. I don't know. I'm gonna say Tory Lanez Twitter. Is that where people say stuff at? um, Let me see what his last tweet is. His last tweet was July 11th. I think I'm looking at them in that chronological order. So, July 11th, yeah, his last tweet. So he ain't said nothing in a minute. So it's looking a lot like it was him. Like I don't know. I would be very surprised if it wasn't, and they was like, and it was going like this, and then it turned out it wasn't him. I would be surprised.
Right. Me too.
But she said like it didn't. It they shot her in the foot, but somehow it didn't hit any bone. Which I'm like, ain't most of your like foot pretty much all?
Bone, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What is it? What it didn't hit? Like, so it didn't. It didn't even penetrate.
She said, but she's like that was in there, but like
unless it hit the side, like the bottom or like the side of her foot or some shit like that. Maybe.
Yeah, like it. But it further asks the question: what was going on? Like, what? How did you get shot in this specific way to where you can get shot in the foot, but also not hit bones?
Yeah.
And like, she said she didn't put her hands on nobody. But I was saying she seemed kind of off. Like her energy seemed kind of like it's like she was like, yeah, like I'm back, you know. And but you also while being like emotional, like at the same time,
yeah,
like trying to like be back on her the hot girl stuff,
real hot girl shit.
So yeah, it struck me as off, but I think it's just she was emotional, which is understandable. But and she was also saying like, you know, addressing the fact that like how they hadn't said anything, like intentionally didn't say anything in public at all until like she made this video, because they ain't like basically saying they ain't everybody's business, and like you don't go straight to the public in social media as soon as something happened, to report it or whatever all the time. So, so yeah, it's like I said, we said this when we first talked about this. We said like it's definitely going to be like more that comes out detail wise.
Most definitely, hell yeah! I can't wait to see it
because it was just bizarre how secretive they kept it in the beginning, and then with the they had the video, the helicopter video, and like the little apartment balcony video of them like getting pulled out the car and stuff, and it was just a bizarre evening for them.
It was.
But since we talked about it a little bit earlier, I figured we might as well jump into it a little bit. And like I said, we can just kind of follow it as the fight comes. Kind of talk about it with more guests and stuff. Yeah. I want to go back into that. And then after that, we probably can just do our trivia. But let me share that. I got the tab up right now. Yeah, it's gonna be probably one of the bigger fights of the recent history, or boxing history. And Mike Tyson's been posting like videos and stuff of him training and still looking real, pretty quick and like powerful behind his punches and stuff. And Roy Jones Jr.
That's that's Roy on the right.
Yeah.
That nigga's hands kind of quick still.
Yeah, he just retired like a couple years ago.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he retired in 2018.
Oh,
and no, his last fight was I believe I read it that Roy Jones Jr.'s last fight was in 2018, and then Mike Tyson's last fight was in 2005. So it's been a lot longer since Mike Tyson has been fighting. Then it's been like they over there dancing on the right with Roy Jones Jr. What they doing? Yeah. They just bopping.
That's that footwork.
Yeah, they getting that. They got that body motion, that ducking and weaving. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. I would do pay-per-view too, just to like make sure I can see it, because like it's so many times I'm like, dang, I be wanting people to find it on somebody's Facebook Live or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dang, to actually be able to watch it. The times that I have, like when we watched Clarissa Shields that one time over Jennifer House,
Oh yeah,
like that's a way nicer of an experience. Like I
it
hate having
is.
the video get shut down and you got to find somebody else that like I hate that. That's
Or
like
the quality of it be
yeah,
bad, like somebody's phone be terrible.
yeah. You don't know if
Yeah.
like it's really in the third round or is just like the video just delayed to it's like the fifth round in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would do pay per view just to not even have to worry about none of that.
Yep.
But
Definitely got to see this shit on pay per view.
and I don't and like as far as like who I think will win, I feel like let me go back to this. Like I don't know. I mean, I feel like Mike Tyson can still beat him. Like
Yeah, Mike, man. He's just he's a rare breed in general. Like he's just a different type of fighter. So it's like, but Roy Jones was too though. That's why I say it's gonna be a good man. It's gonna be a good fight. I just
that
want to
video
see.
is that video is playing on the left with Mike Tyson right now. That's the one that kind of went viral when he was like, and it had the audio and it was like pow 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 pow. It was like he
Oh
was like
yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that. It was like just yeah. He got it's really like power against speed. I mean, Roy Jones had some power. He had power shots, but his speed was just crazy. He would hit a
yeah.
nigga before a nigga would even try to hit him.
Um. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good fight, and I
It
think,
is.
and like I said, I had this weird like some reason I find myself like thinking like, oh, they'll probably take it easy on each other. They both like Mike is definitely a little older, and then Roy Jones ain't young, so um so like but like I'm like, and then I thought like no, because I think they both are probably gonna be like super competitive, and Roy Jones Jr. had
Mm-hmm.
like an ego. He had a big a big ego. Mike Tyson had a big ego. So like I
Mm-hmm.
think that those egos are gonna meet, like, and I think they don't have no choice but to go hard because it's like, it's that ego driving.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man. I can't wait to see this shit.
Um
I
and
hope they
then
don't let me down. I don't even want to speak that.
yeah, yeah,
Where the
if
wood
it,
at? Knocking on
yeah,
the wood.
September 12th. September 12th.
This shit gonna be
Um
good. I'm speaking it.
but yeah, we definitely gonna follow that. I got this dang, I meant to put this banner up, but I'll find it when I edit it.
Yo, I must
But
have forgot.
you might want to grab that banner.
You may want to grab that banner.
Shout out to Apex Legends if anybody plays that, knows what that
Yeah.
is, that listens to the podcast.
Right.
If you know who said that, comment who said that, not send you $20.
Right.
I
I put 20 on it too. So you'll get
comment
40.
comment who in Apex Legends said you might
I'm sorry, bro. I just knew it was coming. Go ahead, though.
comment in the comment section who in Apex Legends said you might want to grab that banner. Whoever who said it, like, and you can hear you hear the voice. Which character said that? Comment that the character's name and then your Cash App, and we'll send you $40.
You might want to grab that banner.
Yeah, you might want to grab that banner. They
Seems like a
usually
good idea to grab that banner.
she's like they usually carry rare platforms. But so comment that character's name and your Cash App, and we'll send you $40. But that brings us to that wraps up our Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. And that brings us to our game segment of the podcast. This is usually our last segment, so we kind of picking up where we left off last week with trivia. And I don't know who you answered the last question because I think you got the third point and then you won,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, about it.
So then it would be my turn to start, I guess. Did I get the first question last time?
I think I went first last time.
Okay, so I guess I'll go first this time, since it's like the questions is alternating.
Mm-hmm.
So let me share my screen, share this tab, and we can get started. I can't wait till we can do this like in one room.
Yeah,
Like it's gonna be a completely different like feeling. Like it's gonna be way better.
most definitely.
But anyway, picking up where we left off last week, the last one was like the TLC no scrubs question, I believe. And I haven't looked at this one, so I guess this is my question. Number 10. In 1939, she wasn't able to perform at Constitution Hall because a white performers only policy put First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Wait, because of a white performers only policy, but First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt protested, and the singer eventually performed at Lincoln
Oh, I
Memorial.
know who this is.
Okay, so I'm gonna read that one more time, all the way through. In 1939, she wasn't able to perform at Constitution Hall because of a white performers only policy, but
Mm-hmm.
First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt protested, and the singer eventually performed at Lincoln Memorial. Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald, Marian Anderson, Della Reese.
Della Reese.
And then I don't recognize the person in the photo, like off of like how did she look. So um I'm gonna just go. I'm as I did last time. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, and I'm gonna say Ella Fitzgerald. Marian Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get up on my like.
Della Reese is if I'm not mistaken, Della Reese is that lady from Harlem Nights who got shot in the foot.
Yeah, that's Della Reese.
Yeah, I'm like, why did they? I'm like, why they put Della Reese up there?
Uh,
Uh-oh.
which
Let's get
popular rap artist's real name is Navadius Wilburn? Young Thug, Future. How you supposed to say that name?
Black.
Black. Or Birdman.
Okay, well, I'm guessing it's one of these niggas in this picture. And I know Drake's name is Aubrey. I don't know who the fuck this nigga name is in the middle, but I know he is not Future, Young Thug, or Black, or Birdman. So I'm gonna have to say, is Lil Wayne in there? One of them?
I don't see Lil
No, he
Wayne.
not. Damn. Okay. So, Nevadius Wilborn.
Navadius Wilburn.
Wilburn. That's like an old man name. I guess I'm gonna have to say Birdman.
Birdman.
Yeah. Seeing as this is Young Money.
It's
Oh,
Future.
Future. What the fuck? What kind
I
of name is that? I thought it was Future.
Navadius.
I thought it was Future though. I thought I was gonna say Future, but I just didn't.
Yeah, and I think Birdman's name is like Brian Williams. Like
It is. I knew
that's
that. Yeah.
that's a bizarre. Like, it's
Stupid.
weird for his name to be that too.
Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot this nigga name is Brian Williams.
Question 12. These two historically black colleges played in the first college football game between black schools in 1892. Oh, this is man. These questions are kind of I've been getting some hard ones. I feel like okay, Morehouse College versus Clark College, Howard University versus Hampton Institute, Biddle University versus Livingstone College, Fisk University versus Tennessee State University. Like I just don't know. Like
Yeah.
like I don't even have like a lead to go on who. These two historically black colleges played in the first college football game between black schools in 1892.
I have an idea, but I don't know if it's correct myself.
Okay, so I'm assuming it will. If it was the first college football game, I'm gonna just do my detective work. How you was just doing. So okay, if it's the first college football game, okay, it's got to be one of the earlier colleges to be founded to be probably I would assume it was one of the the OG schools that participated in this first
Right.
college football game between black schools.
Right.
What is now? I'm thinking like, what's the oldest historically black college? Like the oldest ones, and I don't know. So I'm gonna just go off of like, which one sounds old. I guess. I feel like Morehouse is. I don't know why, but I feel like Morehouse is an older one. And I also feel like Biddle University sounds like it's old.
Biddle do sound old as hell.
Biddle University.
My granddaddy's daddy went to Biddle.
Biddle. Okay. So I think versus Clark. Livingstone College. Biddle University versus Livingstone College. That sounds like it could be the names of the two teams in the first black
Biddle
college
University
game.
and Livingston.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Livingstone.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Got it off with this complete like
On the
BS
whim.
detective work. If you got this one right, you know your HBCUs. Not really. Biddle University, now Johnson C. Smith University, beat Livingstone College 5-0 on December 27th, 1892. It was
That's a football game.
yeah, like what two
They must
safeties and a extra
they
point,
must have been scoring like touchdowns. Like every touchdown was 1 point.
or they got a safety and a field goal. I don't know how
Yeah.
they was doing the scoring back then though. 1892. All right, next
Eight
question.
1892.
Yeah,
Damn.
and it was the first black people to be playing each other.
Wow. Them niggas don't look black. Okay, I guess. Okay, I see now. I do. They are black. Most definitely.
9 questions left.
It's
Okay,
just like that flash, like kind of made them look bright. Some of
let
them.
me go back. So I think we on question like 13. I guess it would be. That was 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was 12. 9 questions left. Does it keep going? Oh,
No,
okay.
I was about to say they gave me a question about Meg Thee
Wait,
Stallion.
how did it get? How am I on a whole different article? Hold on.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
maybe
to
you
edit
gotta
again.
click. Maybe you gotta.
I clicked what
Okay.
I missed and it brought me back up. It was taking me back up to the top. Like if I go what I missed, it go completely all the way back to the top. Oh, come on. Okay, well I guess that's the end of the end of the trivia.
You won that then. See, it was
What
one
did
to
I?
nothing.
One
One
other?
to
Okay,
none.
okay. Well, yeah, we had to keep bringing that. I want to find some. That's like I like the like variety of their questions on that particular
Yeah.
article because it was like old stuff, but also like
New.
Drake and stuff. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love trivia, man.
So I want to keep doing that. So we'll have trivia part 3 at some point. But thank you guys for watching the episode 14 of the Stimulus Podcast.
Yes.
As usual, if you want to donate anything, you can send it to Cash App under $ the Stimulus Podcast, all one word on Cash App, like I said. And yeah, it's episode 14. I think we I don't know. This is like it's kind of I'm feeling we settled into like a rhythm when it comes to all this,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I think it's becoming easier and easier. And I think, like I said, I think once we get it under all one roof, I think it'll be like it's gonna go like through the
It's gonna
roof
be
as
hella
far as
cohesive.
yeah, as far as like production and stuff too. Like it's so much easier to like if you can have everything not having to be streamed and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank y'all for coming and watching episode 14. As usual, you
Thank
can
you.
find us on YouTube at the Stimulus Podcast, and pretty much all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and everything else, Facebook and stuff, and then also audio platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much everywhere else podcasts are available.
Everywhere.
So yeah, thank y'all for coming back. Let me stop sharing my screen. And yeah, with that, I think that's it. Oh, you want to do any plugs for your social media and stuff or your
Yeah.
music?
Just follow me at Vision Hunter on YouTube and Facebook. Vision the Great. That's VYSON the Great at Snapchat and Instagram.
All right, yeah. And with that, this has been episode 14. Thank y'all for coming. Yeah.
Thank you.